Hi, everybody. We'll get started at about 3 minutes after the hour to give more people a chance to join the webinar. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started at about 3 minutes after, so another 2 minutes or so from here. We are presenting live from our DCMC Summit in Austin, Texas, and we have not only those of you joining virtually, but we have a few people in our live audience today. So again, about another minute or two before we'll get started. Thanks. Welcome, everybody. We are very excited to present live from our DCMC Summit here in Austin, Texas. We have people on the Zoom conference virtually, as well as a live audience today. So I want to welcome everyone to our latest feature review webinar. My name is Jean Marie Schiraldi, and I am the Director of Customer Success here at QbDVision. I'll be your moderator for today's session. I have the privilege of introducing two of my colleagues and the presenters for today's session. Luke Guerrero is our COO, and Natalie Kwan is our product manager. Before we get started, I want to go over a few housekeeping items with you. All participants will remain muted throughout the entire webinar. Please use the Q&A section on the Zoom toolbar for any questions you have as we go. We'll be answering those live at the end of the session. And we will be sharing the deck, the recording, and the Q&A after the webinar. Next, I have a few announcements before handing it over to Luke and Natalie. So we are very excited to let you know that we are now an Amazon Web Services partner. This partnership uniquely qualifies us to help our customers transform and accelerate their journey to the cloud. AWS architecture allows our team to securely scale solutions for our users and create a truly modern digital experience. Since we're at the forefront of digital CMC innovation, this partnership helps us grow and expand our offerings, and we look forward to working with AWS to let our customers define the future of drug development. If you are already working with an AWS account rep, please let us know and we can help you connect the dots. So we're super excited to let you know about proactive monitoring. With proactive monitoring, the CS team will be able to share some terrific insights with you in the coming months. Proactive monitoring will allow us to provide a more complete picture of your engagement and usage of QbDVision. We are working on integrating what we learn into our touchpoint calls and renewal decks. Stay tuned for more details. As you know, supporting our customers is always our top focus here at QbDVision. If you have any questions, feedback, or would like more information, you can always reach out to our CSM team, email support, or enter a question in the support portal. And if you haven't looked at our Knowledge Hub lately, you're missing out on a ton of new information. We encourage you to log into the Knowledge Hub soon and check out all the latest info. Now, I'm going to hand it over to Luke so he can show you what's new in this release.
Awesome. Thank you, Jean Marie. And welcome everybody, especially to the folks live here in the room. I think we're going to have a little fun today on this spooky Halloween. So today, Natalie and I are going to walk you through what is new in our latest release, which is called Latin. As with every other webinar, today we're focused on the things that are released into both our standard and our extended environment. For those of you in standard, as you may know, we are here at the Summit Live, and so we'll be unveiling some new capabilities. There'll be a session on Thursday where we're going to talk about some of those and demo some more advancements, but we're keeping today's conversation focused on what is available today in our extended or our validated environment. So stay tuned. In a couple more, probably 48 more hours, we'll be showing some more capabilities, as well as talking about some of these capabilities that we're demoing here today. And as we do in every webinar or in every conversation, we'll start this off talking about why we do what we do. So we talk about our mission and our purpose, which is to help you all bring new drugs to patients and accelerate the throughput in which we get drugs to market. That's our mission. That's what gets us up in the morning. And we're excited to see how these latest innovations help you guys get there and help us succeed in our mission. So thematically for this release, what we were really concentrated on was breaking down the silo between teams. We really focused a lot on thinking about the information exchange going into manufacturing. So what we have done here is really try to take structured data and help us move it into what we consider to be, oops, thing happened. Okay, two key, sorry, technical difficulty there. Two key areas. The first into a batch record, or a master batch record, which Natalie is going to demonstrate, where we show the capability for QbDVision to build a batch record directly from our structure. And the second being the capability to push that same information into an MES. So the idea here is, how do we take that information that's already being approved, how do we take what's already in a process description and convert that and take it to the next level? So today, that's really our theme for what we did in this release. And now I'm going to hand it over to Natalie, who's going to walk us through how we accomplish that.
Perfect. Thank you for that introduction. So last year, we introduced the first version of Doc Builder. Since then, we've expanded the types of documents that can be built. Like Luke said, we most notably focus on the master batch record, or the MBR. So before I dive into the exciting new updates, let me give a quick overview of Doc Builder for those who are not yet familiar with the feature. This will help differentiate the new features that we've added. So Doc Builder is our internal document editor that allows users the ability to build documents and reports directly within QbDVision. Our tool leverages integrated data, enabling users the ability to structure their data within their documents. This is because Doc Builder is integrated with other modules within the platform, such as product, process, and control method modules. With this tool, users can save time by being able to find the data more easily and then pull it in directly into their documents that they've entered previously before in their process module. So it gives users a very convenient way to leverage the work they've already done. And as a whole, Doc Builder enables more sophisticated data management and better data integrity by minimizing the unnecessary duplication of data. Today in the industry, it's often the case that documentation impedes data flow. This is because data is scattered in different formats and file versions across various folders, desktops, and teams. There's a lot of time and manual effort spent in connecting and explaining the data, as well as ensuring documentation is up to date. So to address this challenge, DocBuilder extends the data flow within QbDVision by giving users the ability to transform inputs into the system into meaningful outputs. While we've always offered out-of-the-box reports, DocBuilder unlocks the endless possibilities by giving users the flexibility to customize templates that we offer, as well as the ability to build any document from scratch. So let me go ahead and dive into the software to show you what it looks like. Again, as a quick reminder, the way to access DocBuilder is in the Project Documents module. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through and open a document that I have. Here you can see the quick panel, but when I pull up the document record, you'll see the option that we offer now for users for source documents. They can either upload an external PDF or they can pick to draft their document in DocBuilder. So you would launch DocBuilder by clicking the custom QbDVision document template. Once your document loads, this is what a fully populated process description looks like. You have an introduction, a process flow diagram, the unit operations listed with their step names, descriptions, and all the details within. So when I click edit mode, we can see how smart content is structured within. But now I'm really excited to dive into the master batch record, which best shows our new capabilities. So I'm going to hop in there. And here we have an example of a master batch record that we built in our demo environment. What you can see is that we went after the master batch record because it's a key piece of documentation that exists in every company. The MBR is important because it holds a detailed knowledge of the execution of the process and bridges development and MSAT to manufacturing functions. And that is a goal that QbDVision has been focused on this year. So here at the top, you can see I have smart content. Smart content is anything that has a blue box around it. And that, again, is our integrated data. It's pulling the information from the other modules where the users already entered data. So project and process modules, any of that information. Here I built a bill of materials. This is a good example that shows the capabilities that we've already added. But the new part here is that we've upgraded the menu experience. So if you were an early adopter of DocBuilder, you'll know that now with this new menu, it's much easier to click and insert the smart content. So you can just add more of it into your document. You access smart content by clicking the QbDVision logo here. That will go ahead and open this menu. You see we have two tabs now. So smart content and a widgets tab. So widgets are the same as we've built them. We've just added a different way to access them. So for this bill of materials, in this example, I want to list out all of the materials that I use in my dispensing unit operation. In order to do this, I would go ahead, I will just add some space so then I can re-click into it. I'll select a repeater, select a model, scroll down, click unit operation, which is at the bottom here. Once I add this, I can add a filter. So I can type in the name. I want it to be equal to dispensing. And then I can insert this repeater. Once I have the repeater now, the nice thing with widgets and repeater widgets is that they can be layered into each other. So you can see how below in this example, I now have a table with the model of material created in a table. And then I go ahead and fill in all of my smart content so that it will automatically populate and list all of the material internal part numbers, the name, the suppliers for the materials. And then I also wanted to list the relevant process parameters in this table as well. And again, our widgets will automate this information, so it only pertains to dispensing. Let me go ahead and delete this table. So this is how you use widgets. We recommend using this for anything that is an all-inclusive list that may be filtered with one or two criteria. And this helps automate reports so that you don't have to manually enter in the information. But if I scroll down here, this is really where the new capabilities came in. We saw that in looking at a bunch of different MBRs, that batch records are kind of customized. They have different formats depending on the company, depending on the formats and what they're used for. And we wanted to add that layer of customization in. So what we did in terms of smart content is we added the smart content tab. Here you can see the menu will load the actual process tree that you have entered. So it's a reflection of your, of the process tree in the process module. So here what I did was I entered in all of this information as the step description, and then I want to go ahead and list it out. And the reason why I'm not doing this as a widget is because there are some steps that require extra customization. For example, this third step here requires a repeater where I list out the materials used for this step. So in order to add this information, what I would do is I would say, okay, I want to verify the line clearance for this first step. I click in, I open the about, and then I can list in the name right there. And it's really as easy as that. Clicking in, you can click these, copy and paste them using keyboard shortcuts. You can also delete them, add separate text if I wanted to add any more information. I can write, you know, what room that this step is being performed in, or if anyone needs to sign off on it. Okay, so again, if you were an early adopter, this is a really upgraded experience. You can see the data relayed in the menu, and you don't have to pull up that separate tab. And then you can see how I've customized this as well. I've listed specific materials and target weights that I need. And this just really opens up the flexibility for how smart content can be used. Again, we went after the master batch record in this release, but we're excited to see how you apply the flexibility in the smart content to see what kind of documents that you create. And with that, now I'm going to flip back to the slides. And so this just provides a summary of everything we did. And it's all towards our initiatives for saving users time, for searching for scattered and unstructured data, for creating meaningful outputs, improving data integrity, and then again, tightening that collaboration between PD, manufacturing, and MSAT. Okay, and I can now hand it over to Luke.
Awesome. Thank you, Natalie. So kind of continuing on that theme of breaking down the barriers and working on the exchange between PD and manufacturing, the next area that we worked on is the capability to digitally export a process and send it to an MES or system like Syncade. And for this, we partnered with our partners at Zather, who helped us set this up in the first instance with Syncade. And what we've done in now is we actually moved this into our extended release or our validated environment. So now this is available for all customers. We're going to be showcasing this fairly heavily at the summit this week. So those of you that are here, you'll get to see more on what this looks like and how it works and see the capabilities. And for those not here, you'll hear the follow-up of how we're continuing to extend this area here. This is a little bit more of a technical feature capability in the sense that it outputs, converts the QbDVision structure into the ISA 95 compliant format that we partnered with Zather to define. That is available if we show like on our Confluence page on our wiki, we do show the process mapping in here for anyone that wants to interrogate it and provide feedback on it. So we've mapped that out in here. And it's accomplished via our API documentation. Again, this is a little bit more technical for those technical users that are wanting to drill into what is available, but that is documented herein. And awesome. But in terms of what this does for you or why this matters, as I mentioned, typically in, whoops, there we go. Sorry, excuse me. Typically in any given transfer, right, we're looking to cut down on time. And your typical tech transfer includes time for the first stage of that is just gathering technical data. As we all know, there's large headaches in terms of figuring out where the information is. It's a large effort for MSAT teams to start to pull that together, create bills of parameters, bills of material. A lot of that is going on. It's being finalized. It's all over the place, but they're centralizing it into one document. The next that starts then the collaboration with an MES writer, a manufacturing team as they go through and set that up in the MES itself. Then they go through and create documentations to validate it, to set that all up. Then there's the actual validation step with a 2-person validation. And then ultimately then it's approved therein. What we can accomplish by transferring it digitally is slimming that down quite significantly. Put the data in QbDVision, set it up correctly the first time, all teams working off the same source of information. That data can then be approved within QbDVision and automatically sent to the MES. So there's no need to revalidate it. There's no need to sort of worry about, as you make changes, to do it in multiple places, keep your documentation updated. It's all leaning on the QbDVision approval system to be able to transfer it and update it across those systems. So the goal here is significantly cutting down the time and information exchange going on within these two systems. And as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be an area of continued innovation for us as we continue to try to break down that barrier and avoid the duplication that happens so often today as teams really build out different reports and documents and sign them off, all containing the exact same information, which we have today in QbDVision. So with that, I'm going to transfer it back to Natalie to wrap up.
Okay, thank you. So first I'm going to go into our upgraded table experience. In this release, we started transforming our table views, which we refer to as dynamic tables. Our goal with this work is supporting an out of Excel initiative and moving towards centralizing the detailed data management and analysis within QbDVision. This will help to streamline the data path from multiple scattered files to be integrated with the rest of the data stored in the platform. So to achieve this, we've been working on updating our existing tables to create a foundation where we can enable more capabilities. Let me go ahead and show you some of the changes that we've made. As you can see here, I've pulled up a process parameter table in the process module. You can see that overall, we've modernized the look and the feel of the tables. We added visual depth and dimension to highlight primary data and reduce visual friction. So this improves data scannability, meaning it takes users less effort and time to consume. Other specific updates include having a column for version history, freezing the first columns as you scroll so you always know which record that you're looking at, displaying the total number of records up here as well as down here. And this will tell you how many records you're looking at versus how many records that you filtered for. And we've also added pagination as well with the option to select how many records that you want to display in the table. Okay, so in terms of functionality, we still have the same configure button. We just relocate it to the upper left-hand side of this table. When you click this, this is where you can select the columns that you want to show. And the best part about this is now once you save your views, if you reload or revisit that table, that view is going to stay the same, which is really convenient, especially if you want to share different tables as well. So in terms of other functionality, we've added the ability to launch record actions from the table. Previously, you had to open each individual record itself, but if you click this ellipse over here, you can view, edit, and archive a record. So again, just helping users manage their data from this table view. You can organize or change the width of each column. And let me go ahead and show you an example of launching bulk propose, which is exciting because this is the start of bulk actions that we've been working on in this release and that we're going to only continue to work on as part of adding power functions to dynamic tables. What we're going to do in this case with propose is let's just dive into a specific example. Let's say in this case, you've had a small scale model and you're scaling up your upstream process to the 500 liter scale. So in QbDVision, what you did was you copied over your previous process, and now you want to make updates to multiple records in a row, or you want to propose them. So in this case, for the larger scale, let's say you have to change your impeller design because it's a nonlinear scale dependent factor. So anything like impeller agitation and gas transfer rates are going to be affected by the difference in geometry with the bioreactors and with the scale. And so to pick these records, what you do is navigate to this leftmost column, and we can select number of impellers. We can scroll down. Actually, I also want to select aspect ratio. Scroll down and click, impeller, design, and speed. And now I can see that I've selected multiple columns in this, multiple rows and multiple records in this table view. Now I can navigate to the upper right-hand corner and press propose. And so when I propose, what's going to happen is you're going to launch into the bulk propose screen that you may already be familiar with if you have bulk proposed unit operations and all the records that live under the unit operation. From here, you can review each one of the records and then you can propose them for approval. So again, you're now able to manage changing or updating or proposing multiple records in one workflow instead of having to individually manage these updates. And this is what's really going to help power that dynamic table view. The other thing that I want to show is that our plan for dynamic tables is to roll this out to all modules. We've started with the control method module, which you can see here and was previously a list. So now it's a lot easier to analyze this data, especially when you're looking from this multi-record view. And we're going to only continue from here. We're going to continue to roll out to suppliers, users, risk management plans, data, and more. And so with that, I'm going to hop back into the slides. This summarizes our upgraded table experience, but we're really just setting the foundation so that we can continue to build more capabilities. Okay, other great updates that I want to quickly mention is that we're also setting the foundation for quantitative relationship data. So we've added a few more fields where you can record this type of data. One is going to be a new process parameter type to distinguish quantity. So you can see that kind of in the screenshot here. We have design, operating, control, other, and now quantity. In the material properties card, what we've added is density, density conditions, and form data. And again, this is going to be a launching point for us for calculated parameters. You can also now classify suppliers as GXP, and we made some tech transfer data support updates where you can add in the tech transfer columns into the import templates, and that will register when you upload to our system. And we've also streamlined training reports. So based on the date that you populate the report with, it will not show you the training that has been archived by that date. And that wraps up all of our updates for this release. And now we're going to move into the question portion where I'm going to hand it over to Jean Marie.
All right. So thank you both, Luke and Natalie. That was great. Very informative. So we've got a couple questions here, but first let me ask our live audience. Do we have any questions from our live audience? One, yes, Yashka.
So you showed that you could
I could take that one. Or yeah, so it was asked in the audience that how you can show how you can approve multiple records from the table view and if there's a capability to edit that. I will say stay tuned for the later conversation, but this release for those customers invalidated, it is only available today to propose in the standard environment or in Sandbox. Actually, in Sandbox today, you could see that there are other capabilities that are under experimental where we will be allowing bulk edit. The vision for that section, as Natalie articulated, is to really just have a whole slew of bulk capabilities be archive, edit, et cetera, therein. But right now, for the validated group, it's only proposed in Latin.
All right. Any other questions from our live group? Yes.
All right, so we got a question from the audience to ask with Doc Builder if you can reference more than one project. Currently, that is not a feature that we have available, but we have that on our radar and are just trying to work out how to best accomplish that. Other things that we also want to accomplish is templates. So we just need to figure out the priority of which direction to go through first.
All right. Any others? Go ahead.
Okay, so the question from the audience was asking if we can build out different formats with Doc Builder. So Word, PDF, Excels. Currently, it's in the early stages, so we know we want to build towards that direction. We're still working on the foundation, and we had to really focus in on the experience to make it a lot more easier to use and quicker to insert the smart content. So I think we were building more on the technical side, but that is our goal, right? Replacing or working towards replacing Word would be really beneficial because right now these Word documents are kind of in a 2D format and they're dead end for the data. And so you lose the integration with the rest of the system and you have the people who have the knowledge to connect those documents. So we want to bring that all into the platform so it's tied in together.
All right. Any other questions from the audience? No? Okay, we've got a couple that have come in online. One is with our new Doc Builder, with the new Doc Builder capabilities, can I still create documents with repeaters?
Yes.
So
So
you
you
can-
can, sorry. Yes, you can do that as I showed in our master batch record mock-up. And yeah, you can choose either or. You can do widgets. You can even do a whole blank document without any
smart content,
but obviously that doesn't leverage the power that we're going for. And then you can mix and match. So definitely play around with it, dive into the software, and we want to see what other documents you end up creating.
Great. Okay. Then are my existing documents affected by this change?
Nope, they will not be. The only thing that's affected is the toolbar and the change in that menu experience. Everything else should still be okay and should have been transferred over seamlessly.
Great. Okay. And this one, Luke, might be for you. What do I need to do to connect my MES to QbDVision?
Great question. Well, first off, start with us or contact us. So today it's a process. We will refer you to one of our partners that will help you get set up. As I mentioned earlier, we built this version with Zather. So they have the sort of the know-how and the expertise on the MES side. And we will work with you to connect the two systems and go through there. So there is a bit of a process. We are actively seeking any customer that's looking to sort of try this out. It's our goal to get this wired up as quick as possible now that we've released it into production. So short answer is contact us and we'll get moving quickly.
Great. All right. It looks like that's all of our questions right now. So I just want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you to the live audience. We really appreciate you coming in. Thank you to those of you who joined us virtually. And we will be sending out the webinar deck and the recording and the Q&A in a few days. Thank you all.